because if a head of state really is on record to, form a task force that is unconstitutional. I mean, in other areas, you would find that such a decision is not made single-handedly. Even if he wanted to, if a head of state wants to do such a thing, there has to be a team who are counter checking. Of course, he must be having knowledge of the constitution. Then there has to be a team checking, and before this decision reaches the public, it would have, passed through many layers of, be a scrutiny, and so that we don't have decisions or pronouncements that are contrary to the constitution. Would you kindly make us understand why we keep having scenarios whereby the head of state is telling us things that are unconstitutional? Do you maybe have an idea of how these things really happen? Back to you.
Madge, thank you very much. This is what I know. Dictators and tyrants rule through crisis. And commissions of inquiry, task forces are always the hiding places when they are in crisis. So they cause, most of the time, they artificially cause a crisis so that when the crisis comes, they can look like they are the solvers or the solution to the crisis. All right? They are the answers to the crisis, so that they look like they are statesmen and they are above the fray. Moi did it by creating commission after commission, and Kibaki also did the same. And when the so-called task force or the commission brings the report, it's never enforced. So, for example, we had the Ndungu land commission. The commission brought a report that was never enforced. During Kibaki's time, we had the TJRC, Truth, Justice and Reconciliation Commission. It brought in a report, never enforced, because they use this as release valves. When the pressure is too much, you create this to release pressure. There was also the Waki report. Most of it is not of the post-election violence. Most of the report, nothing was enforced. We've had many, many, many such commissions. Okay? This is a PR exercise, purely a PR exercise. As I said, he cannot purport to form this thing from the IMF, who is supposed to be a creditor. So somebody lends you money, you go to the National Bank, or you go to Equity, they give you 100 million to construct a house or to construct a business. And then there is a problem with the management of this debt. So let's say something happened that was untoward. There were kickbacks and whatnot. So what happens? The same creditor, Equity Bank, then says they have constituted a team to investigate whether there was a kickback or not. Do you think you will ever find out whether there was a kickback when the same creditor is the one responsible for this? No. To be able to find a solution, both the creditor and the lender must then tender information to a third party, an independent third party, to look into it, so that the report does not go to the people who are involved. It goes to an independent body. The independent body is the one that does the forensic audit and then reports to another independent body to be able to tell us if there is a problem. That is transparency and accountability. But no, Ruto, who is the person who caused the crisis, is the one who forms this PR task force. The task force is supposed to work under his supervision and report to him. But the members of the task force are from the people that he borrowed from. It makes no sense. So why is it done? It is the culture of impunity, because he thinks he can get away with it, because he gets away, because many regimes have gotten away with it, because the president cannot be sued and cannot be charged, because he's immune under the Constitution. So he thinks all you need to do, because this is what has happened before, is to just ride the storm. You remember there was a KEMSA scandal. Nobody went to jail. Uhuru Kenyatta retired, and every month he's paid over 100 million, and he's just going about the world drinking. What about the NYS? Waiguru is now a governor and has staff. Nothing has happened to Waiguru, nothing happened to Uhuru. How about all the other scandals, including the Eurobond and many others under Uhuru's administration? Some touching on Ruto himself. Nothing has happened. So because nothing has happened, Ruto believes nothing will happen with respect to him as well. The unfortunate thing about this for Ruto is that just because your predecessors got away with murder does not mean that you or anybody else afterwards will be allowed to get away with murder. And unfortunately for him, the younger generation turned out in large numbers and said, enough is enough. I would want to encourage them. I would want to encourage us to put meaning to that statement. Let's say enough is enough, and let's gather in large numbers, and let's cause a crisis, and let's dissolve Ruto's regime.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ray, for the